Welcome to Wrestling is Hard, where every side is the dark side of the ring. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Email us questions or complaints at wrestlingishard@gmail.com. I'm Jim. Brandon, hello. How was your week?
Chris, Jim, what's up, guys?
How
Not too bad. Sorry I held you guys up for this. Was
was it an important call?
on the phone, but I was also squeezing in a little bit of capture the flag. Playing a little Halo, ran a little long. So
Gotcha.
just
You're
got
putting us on hold just like you're putting your job on hold for Halo.
That's right. Everybody waits for
That's fine.
ranked arena, and
okay.
that's pretty much it, man. Got my W-2. Gonna get on TurboTax after this. Turn it into some NFTs. So.
Oh my god. Nice. Can't wait to see what monkey you get this week. Chris, how was your week?
Snow, car issues, doing a podcast. That's about it.
Received a gift this week, though. I think you're wearing it.
I did. I'm wearing.
Check this out. Let's stand up for it for everyone.
It is an airbrushed.
Oh.
Airbrushed.
I should do the podcast just like that.
An airbrushed shirt with
DOD?
Kamala, Shark Attack, and the what's his name? Zodiac on the back.
Oh, that's incredible.
Airbrushed Dungeon of Doom art. There you go, buddy.
It's not hot.
Thank you very much. Love it.
Yes. Also, you guys, since we're visual medium too. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube at Wrestling is Hard Productions. I decided to wear. I have my studio jacket now, which was sent to me from cool Asheville, North Carolina, which is a WCW motorsports coat. So there you go. My recording jacket for everyone at home. Hear how cool we are? See how cool wrestling fans are?
Look at them cool dudes.
Airbrush shirts in 2022.
Yep, better believe it. And I'm wearing basically a starter jacket. Dorks. All right, so Royal Rumble happened. So little story before I push it over to Brandon and get his side. We went out. It was a snow day in Philadelphia. A lot of snow, more snow in Jersey and down the shore. But we got a good 5 inches. Shit was pretty much not operational. So we went to the corner Mexican restaurant, had some dinner, had a few margaritas. Asked for the check. Bartender asked us. He said, "Do you want to do a shot of tequila?" Not one to say no. He offers me Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's tequila. I'm like, yes, I'll take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's tequila. Mind you, he asked us. We didn't ask. And I got the bill and I got charged for it. $18 shot of fucking tequila.
What?
What a piece of shit.
Well, I said to my wife, I'm like, and she's like, what? Like, we didn't make a big deal. It's like, whatever, we drank it. I don't give a shit. Then he gave us another shot of tequila on top of that. The guy, he realized that we were like, that's weird. I didn't answer this shit, but they just pushed it on me.
Make it up a little BOGO.
Yeah, little BOGO. So I got a little cheaper shot too. So needless to say, by the time I had sucked down some margaritas, a couple of beers, and immediately 2 shots of tequila, got to my couch. Was going to watch something a little bit deeper that I might be able to understand and enjoy, but then I also predicted that in 30 minutes I was going to be completely inebriated from the 2 shots. My wife and I sat down and we turned on the Royal Rumble just in time for the Women's Royal Rumble. Brandon, how was your adventure with the Royal Rumble this weekend?
Yeah, same thing. Saturday was home alone and woke up about, I guess it was probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I have a heated blanket. That thing is like a roofie. If you turn it on and lay under, it's like within 20 minutes, even if you're not tired, I just end up waking up an hour or two later, soaking wet with sweat. So about 9, 10 o'clock, I popped it on Peacock. And what was happening? I think it was Bobby Lashley versus... No, was that
Rock?
Earlier in the night? Yeah, I forget. I ended up catching the men's Rumble and maybe one match before that. Nothing very memorable. My God.
Was it the mixed tag match?
Yes. I think that's
when I turned it off. I turned it off after Dewdrop and Becky Lynch, which was a fart. No. I turned it off after Lesnar and Bobby Lashley.
So we get Roman Reigns interferes. Bobby Lashley takes the title, and you immediately know that now the rest of the event has been spoiled for you as to what's going to come.
Right.
So,
Chris, how was your adventure? Did you watch the whole thing, Chris?
I watched it all in clips and shit like that. I worked Saturday night, and I mean,
Well, it's on the cock. You can watch it at any time.
I understand that, but I also had to. My wife was up the mountains and her car broke down, so I had to drive up after work to go pick her up. So my free time to watch wrestling was extremely limited. But everything that I saw, not the lead-ins to how these things happened, but the results. I kind of liked all the results of the matches. I mean, that was all right. Cool. I like all those dudes. I did read some reviews, and I think it was CBS Sports. I usually just go to whatever the first one that's up there is. I click on it and I read. Just really, it's me looking to see who won every match, and then I'll end up reading what happened. And I know their review of the Men's Royal Rumble ranked it as one of the 5 worst of all time.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Brandon, what'd you think of it? Do you on mute?
It was a bummer. Usually, no matter what's going on with WWE, I can get up for the Royal Rumble. That's like the one treat of the year. And this didn't even do that for me. I mean, the roster's so thin that a lot of the, mid-tier guys aren't interesting. You usually get a couple like shocker WWE legends coming in. Didn't really get that. And the final 5, which is kind of a juxtaposition for like the top storylines going on, who could actually win. It was like Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Shane O'Mac, and Brock Lesnar. So what's coming out of that? They're in. Christ. Yeah, Shane O'Mac comes out to complete silence. He's just throwing these geezer punches that are just completely cutting through the air, whiffing. Randy Orton's the only one that gets any sort of reaction from the crowd because it's in St. Louis. And that's where he's from, and he immediately gets bounced once they kind of do that like square off at the end. Oh, here's the last batch of guys. Immediately gets bounced. So then you're like, okay, I wonder if I'm sure Shane McMahon versus Lesnar is going to be interesting. I think him and Riddle get knocked out at the same time, and you're like, okay, we'll get at least a hoss battle to the end. Probably 15 seconds. Drew McIntyre gets scooped up over Lesnar's head and fired out of the ring, and that was it. So it's just they spared any drama that they could have possibly added to this thing, and it's almost that they're at a point of no return here. It's like I don't know if this show is ever going to be good again. Even the couple events a year that you could usually count on to get you back in are just whiffing.
Yeah, so I watched the most of it. So I watched Women's Royal Rumble. I turned it on. It was 2 people were in there. Yeah, Sasha Banks and Melina. So I got to see the first 2 people in. And I got to watch. I mean, Sasha Banks is cool. She's fun to watch. I don't know the show. I don't know. Part of it is that not knowing what's going on. Not that WWE is really that smart, so you're not like you don't really have to figure it out. This person's a bad guy. You can tell because they're so ridiculously over the top a bad guy. You're like, okay, well, this is a bad guy. Like I didn't know Nikki Ash is now evil superhero. She came out as she's the evil superhero now, I guess.
Almost superhero, Jim.
Is that what Ash stands for?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I thought it was short for ass. But she's got a big one.
Hole.
Asshole. Yeah, and then Ronda Rousey comes out, and that was kind of I don't think it was a surprise. Like, that was one of the rumored people to come out, but she comes out and she wins, and okay.
So
okay, she did. I think her punches were pretty bad. She looks a little rusty. She came out and it wasn't great.
Yeah, that was the review on that too. That Ronda looked really rusty. It was clunky as fucking hell.
Yeah.
And we're at a point, like I said, I kind of read the results and I saw who won, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm down with all of this. But I think the only reason, or the main reason I should say, that I was down with Ronda Rousey winning the Women's Royal Rumble, that's a lot of R's, was
Ronda Rousey, rumble.
That everybody was so mad.
Yeah, of course.
And anymore, when I watch wrestling and the wrestling fans are mad, I love it.
Yeah, of course.
I like
Just
it.
like watch
It's
him
the
get
best
pissed.
thing fucking ever. Cody Rhodes. Ah!
But then then I get Dewdrop versus the champ, Becky Lynch. And you know that Dewdrop isn't winning. She rules, but you know she's not winning. And then the ending was weird. It was like a choke slam off the top rope. I don't know what the fuck that was. And it was over. And I'm like, okay. But at this point, my wife's asleep. I'm like, all right, well, I'll watch a little bit more. Oh, no. She stayed awake for Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley because she was fascinated with Bobby Lashley's ridiculous neck. So she was like, what is up with his neck? It's ridiculous. Why is his neck?
I got a couple more minutes of looking at this neck in me before I pass out.
She's like, this neck is that. Oh. And then Roman Reigns comes out and interferes. I don't know. It's just, I went into it open-minded. I mean, I kind of did because I was really excited for the Women's Royal Rumble, and they don't have anybody. They bring out Barney Blank. They bring out fucking Lita. Apparently, Lita's fighting for the title now.
Yes.
In Saudi Arabia. Lita's what, 50-some years old?
I have no idea, but
It's gotta be. She's gotta be older than me.
So
46.
She's
Older than you?
my age.
Younger than me.
He's my age.
Yikes. Okay.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, but the thing too is like they decided that we could just maybe part of the plan we can to get us through the first half Q1 of 2022. Let's shit can everybody, and then we can bring some people back for the Royal Rumble on these little tiny day-to-day contracts, and then that'll get us through till we figure out what the hell's going on. I don't know.
I don't know. They offered a bunch of people, according to the internet and according to the people actually they referenced. Nia Jax said she was offered, and she basically was like, "Fuck you." The Iconics were offered a shot in this, and they were like, "No." Like, why would you? No, fuck you. You don't need to be in this for what? One payday? I got a job over here. Go ahead, Chris.
No, yeah, and I was like, it's not like that wrestlers don't make any money anywhere else.
Right.
Like these wrestling, they're owned by television networks and stuff. There's all kinds of money being thrown around. Why would you fired me and it kind of sucked while I was there. I'm not coming back for one day. I'm coming back for 0 days.
Right.
Like why, no. And I think what happens, obviously we don't know, but it's like you work somewhere and then you realize after you're gone, after they unceremoniously shit can you, and then you're like, oh, wow, my life is actually pretty fucking easy right now.
Oh,
I'm getting paid comparable money and I don't have to go flying all over the place to not work.
Right.
Oh, we need you on the West Coast tomorrow to sit backstage for 6 hours in your wrestling gear.
With no, you're not seeing your family or your friends. You're stuck in fucking work.
And you're not even on TV.
Right. So
you're not even working,
your
just
product
sitting there.
better. Yeah. Brandon, thoughts?
I'm looking at this men's Royal Rumble, and it's like they don't have anybody. Some of the stuff isn't going to be good, but the stuff that's within their control, I think, is why this continued to surprise me as being pathetic. Some of their bigger guys, Randy Orton in there for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Kofi Kingston comes in 21 seconds. Bobby
Apparently
Roode
he fell, right? He fell.
Well,
yeah, he screwed up or something. Yeah,
he messed up. I don't want to say botched. He messed up one of his walking around your hands or whatever spots, and that was it.
That happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Bobby Roode 50 seconds. Johnny Knoxville was in there longer than him. Sami Zayn 2 minutes. Shinsuke Nakamura a couple minutes. And then the one guy you'll have that story. Sometimes I'll have that storyline of like the first entrant. If it's somebody really good, will run through the whole thing.
Right.
And it's not until a superstar comes in that's fresh and knocks him out. AJ Styles comes in first, last 29 minutes, just gets knocked out straight up one-on-one by Madcap Moss.
I was going to say, how's Madcap? How did he do? How did Madcap do?
They just Moss. That's the blow off for the 30-minute run for AJ Styles. Madcap Moss cleans him up, waxes him. So it's that kind of shit that you're like, man, even the notes that they normally hit, they're not hitting.
Right.
I can think of one wrestler that was like number 1 or number 2 and hung till the end.
Who's that?
I think he was hiding
Kamala?
and I know it was where's he at? He'll get on the mic for you.
Oh, Bruce Barber Beefcake.
No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Zodiac.
That was
Zodiac.
Carshield. Carshield.
Oh, Flair. That's right.
He was.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Car Shield. Are we done with the Royal Rumble? Do we want to talk about
I
anything?
think so.
Car Shield star of Car Shield commercials. Ric Flair got divorced for the 5th time.
5.
Do you have any idea how expensive it is to get divorced?
He does.
Well, he does 5 times as much. That's a shame. True love's dead, man. If Ric Flair can't get married, can't find it in the 5th time. My wife took care of me. She took care of me. I was sick. There you go. Thoughts, Brandon, on divorce and Ric Flair.
I would love to know how much money he owes every month that he has to keep doing this shit. I was joking around with you guys. He's going to be drop dead on the set of a Car Shield commercial, like 90 years old, just trying to make his bills for the month. He's got to have no money.
Vince died. Now nobody's paying his alimony anymore. Chris, thoughts on Ric Flair and his divorce?
This is the perfect opportunity to talk about how important it is to take notes before you do a podcast. Because I had a great fucking joke that I was going to put in the text thread, and I thought I would remember it for today. I don't remember it.
It's all good. Maybe it'll come to you later.
Yeah, it'll pop my head. Ric Flair. Oh, God. What a shitty human. I'm sorry. He has to be the shit. It could be like the, because there's real complete. I mean, you have Grizzly Smith and you have fucking Dynamite Kid. You have those people, but he's like, the most successful,
loser,
asshole in professional wrestling. Like,
ain't got no money either. That's why he keeps trying to work.
Oh God,
he's got to be the shittiest guy that's still around.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if anybody else was like a WWE guys. Yeah, Ric Flair. And like there's the groomer dudes that are still out there. The what's the guy? Oh, Velveteen Dream. He just recently came out and was like, the only reason I can't work anymore is because people lying on the internet. Meanwhile, there's evidence that he was trying to pick up younger boys. Yeah, dude. Come on.
I'm laughing at last week Chris wearing a $45 Ric Flair homage shirt, and then this week coming on going, he's got to be with the shittiest person.
Yo. First of all, let me correct you.
To defend it, own it.
No. I'm correcting. First of all, way fucking more than $45. All right, their T-shirts are $45 on that website.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've got some sweatshirts that are easily $45, and they're not from
Roots
World
of
of Fight or whatever it's called.
Man. Another point that just fucking forgot.
Yeah, that's all good. Let's move on. Matt Hardy comes out on a podcast. I don't know which one it was, and says, mind you, I'm making this up off the top of my head because we don't have much to talk about this week. Matt Hardy comes onto a podcast. He says that Jeff's drug test came back and it was negative, and he left. And as he initially said, he left because he was just sick of WWE shit and walked out. Brandon, thoughts?
Good. As expected, he just did a classic Jimmy Lardani style exit and mid shift decided that this was the last time he was ever doing this and cut through the crowd. So, I mean, I'm glad that it wasn't any like actual traumatic event going on in his life that drove that. He just felt the same as we do about what's going on there.
He rended his parachute pants. Chris, thoughts?
Yo, look, people love that dude. If he's not out because of any kind of substance abuse, he's going to get hired in a fucking second. That dude, right. I mean, look, I was never a huge fan of his, but you can't deny that there are massive Jeff Hardy fans, and this is a guy that has not changed his fucking look or anything since the beginning. He's always been that. He's like John Cena like that. He's never changed his shit up. People still fucking love him. And wherever, dude, anybody, any wrestling company out there would be fucking stupid not to hire this guy. He's money. I don't understand why, but he is. I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. I think I've always thought he was like, weird, braver. I don't know what else. Disturbed. listening to Disturbed. I don't know.
No,
But
he's
like
a
hillbilly.
you know what he is?
It's
He's
like so weird.
He's a living Monster energy drink guy. That's who he
There
is.
you go.
He's punching holes in drywall. Brandon, thoughts of punching holes in drywall?
I mean, I loved Jeff Hardy growing up. That was like probably
go.
my
There's your
most
mo- there you go.
most attempted, most failed wrestling move onto the couch cushions on the floor was the Swanton. I think that's what it was. That move just ruled.
Yeah, it did.
I was 3D all the way.
You still on Team Bubba Ray?
What has he said anything? I don't know.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, he said
No.
that John Moxley should apologize for taking off to go to rehab. He owes it to the fans to work through. Yo.
Somebody needs
These
to,
guys
like,
always put their feet in their mouth, especially the old school guys. They're fucking idiots.
well, that's the thing. Like, somebody needs to get all these old school guys together, like some nonprofit, to get them all together, sit them down, and go, look, no, everything you guys did was meatheady and wrong.
Right.
I understand that it made you a man.
Manly, tough.
You're manly,
man.
tough, and manly. But yeah, you're wrong. You don't. Oh no, and you know, you don't know anybody's shit. You get sober and you don't want to talk to people. Guess what? Fuck them. They don't get talked to. Fuck their feelings.
Yep.
Sorry,
Brandon, your thoughts on sobriety? I guess I don't know.
Jesus
Bully
Christ, my thoughts on sobriety.
Bully Ray. Let's talk about Bully Ray.
I mean, that must be like I mean, you guys would know better than I do. I think you've experienced it in your own lives. Like at some point, especially older dudes, I feel like have to look back at their own life experience and be like, this doesn't really apply to today. It's not. It shouldn't be like things were back then. Yeah. And guys like Bubba Ray Dudley just refuse to do that. That or he's just needs some listeners on his Bubba Ray radio or whatever. He's like, I'm going to say something insane.
I think what's he on? Busted Open?
Bubba Ray.
Yeah, he's on Sirius.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, like, you know, when he knows what he's talking. He says dumb shit. It's not too often, but he really does know what he's talking about when he actually talks about, like, sometimes giving you ideas of like, oh, this is the way I would have gone if I had booked that situation. And usually his ideas are much better than the shit that they had on television.
I'm going to remind you of something. Do you remember the New Japan show in New York?
You know, yeah.
Where they had to stop it? No, I'm not talking about the one we went to. There was one in New York where they came and it was an all New Japan show.
Oh, okay.
And they came and they had to stop the show because someone called the ambulance company and told them they didn't need the ambulance at the stadium anymore.
I remember this, yeah.
So the New York State, whatever, Game and Wildlife Reserve or whatever the fuck they're called, shut the show down because they needed an ambulance on premises in case of emergencies. And they shut New Japan down until they got another ambulance. Show was delayed for like hours.
Yeah,
and
I remember this.
Rumor was that it was Bubba Ray that did that.
Fucking scuzz bucket.
Yes. That's some carny ass shit.
Yeah, it is.
You're not gonna put me on your show? That's a New York accent, by the way, if you can't tell. You're not gonna put me on your show? Then I'm gonna call the ambulance company.
This is the guy that also was gonna bring a kid backstage and get him beat up by the wrestlers because he said something he didn't like to his wife.
Yeah.
Remember?
You said she was ugly.
You said my wife was ugly. But I'm gonna beat your ass. That's what he said.
They call the Wildlife Commission because Bubba Ray got shot with a trank at the buffet table.
At the Golden Corral up in Ben Salem. Did you see that video? Yeah, fist fight at the Golden Corral. My favorite is people are like so pissed off at each other they start grabbing baby high chairs and beating the shit out of each other with it.
Well, they were in a fist fight because there was no steak left.
Is that what it was?
Yes, it was. It was something along those lines.
They were pissed off that someone dipped their steak in the chocolate fountain, which would have been me.
That fucking thing is so gross.
I think they turn the lights out and then announce anything that happens when the lights come back on is no longer a responsibility of Golden Corral. Flip that.
All right, let's move on.
I was going to make a joke about. We'll get to it later, but
yeah, we'll get to it. I don't want it to get too much into that. Yeah. Stardom Mystery Woman stuff. We had the lady in the white towels. You guys remember this, right? Kamitani walks in. She wants to challenge Kota Ibushi. She walks into Rossi's office. She sees a woman wrapped in white towels. She looks at her face. She says, "Oh, I know something I'm not supposed to know." She leaves. Story goes on. A new girl comes into the company, Momo Kongo. That's her name, Momo Kongo. Since she's the new girl, she tells her the secret. And she's like, "Don't tell anyone." She has to tell someone. Then
you know something you don't.
Yeah. And Rossi says, you hear Rossi in the background. He says, once you're out of your contract, he's talking on the phone to this person. Once you're out of your contract, you'll be able to perform live at the Sumo Hall show for Stardom. Now, we theorized that it was Kairi Sane, Kairi Hojo, Pirate Lady. I think this all but solidifies it. She showed up one more time with towels wrapped around her head. I think this is for sure her. Chris, I think we're right. Thoughts?
I hope it is. That would add a nice, for me personally, a nice depth of a nice, like, something I can really sink my teeth into as far as watching Stardom goes, because I really don't have a favorite wrestler or anything at this point. Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with anybody.
Well, the big show happened over the weekend. We'll talk about it because I'm going to watch it. I think it'll come out on, or it happened last week. I think it'll air on Stardom World tomorrow. And then you guys get to watch some good wrestling because we're about to talk about some bad wrestling. AEW. First off, let me say, so Riho broke her collarbone in that match. The first couple of minutes of that Battle of the Belts match against Britt Baker. And she worked for 20 minutes with a broken collarbone. Ladies and gentlemen, how small is she again? The internet loves pointing out how small she is.
This is the woman that
she worked with a broken collarbone. Brandon, thoughts?
Ugh. That's like one of those ones that I feel like I would have to like immediately just run to the back.
Cry.
My neck and my shoulder aren't moving.
And then you get to the back, and it's Bubba Ray's waiting for you, and he's like, "I heard you were saying something about my wife."
I call her. Send the ambulance.
But beat downs.
God. Thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, she was a woman that shouldn't be champion because she's too small.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason she's champion, the only reason they put her on the show is because she's friends with Kenny Omega.
Because the internet thinks
because Kenny Omega
they fucking
exactly.
Yo, fans, go fuck yourselves. She rules. All right, let's move on. So, Dynamite. It's the Beach Blast. Beach Break? Beach Break.
Break Blast.
It's the Baja Blast Beach Break. Okay, show starts off immediately hot with the ladder match for the TNT Championship. The spots in this match were fucking ridiculous. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, big ladder match. Off the big one, spots were good. That Sammy Guevara cutter was sweet. Off of the one ladder to the other because he like didn't set it up. He it was like one solid movement from the steps of the ladder to the top. Off, enjoyed that. Couple nasty ones. They had the similar spot to the Stardom ladder match with the senton onto the ladder. The ladder doesn't break. But yeah, I didn't think Sammy Guevara was going to win. I just don't really care about him, so I don't want to just talk about that the whole time. But that's kind of how I felt going out of it. It was like, okay, now we have two TV shows with TV champions that I don't particularly feel like watching. He doesn't have any like story going around him, or I think Cody will be able to come up with something interesting outside of this. So no big deal there. But
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing big spots, a lot of me covering my eyes and wondering why. But other than that, it's, because like you said, we dig into Sammy Guevara every week, too. I don't feel like doing it again.
yeah,
it's all the same typical Sammy Guevara shit, but the spots were amazing.
I do want to say when Fuego del Sol came out and was like, "Oh, don't do it, Cody," and he got into the ring, And then Cody laid him out with something like a
Got
tiger
wrecked.
driver or something like that. He like turned into like a stick. It just he sold all over the place for that shit. It was fucking great. Yeah, but like you said, I agree with you guys. Like I don't care. That's the problem.
You just were flipping all over the place and almost dying over a fucking. I mean, I guess somebody cares. I know I don't.
It's not I'm not the audience for this guy. So
Nope. Although we should talk about Fuego del Sol and his complete. I mean, does he have? He looks like he's just skin on top of a skeleton.
yeah, he has no musculature.
What's going on with this dude? How old is he?
No, he kind of looks like he's like
Either
50 years old.
He's either 8 or 78. Like I just like, you're not good, but he gets the shit kicked out of him by everybody.
He does
Yet
get the
he got a
pizza.
contract, gets paid.
He does. Good for him. Well, they got rid of the
Bob told the
Littleman.
story.
They got rid of the Littleman. That was with Jurassic Express. He's no longer.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, the Littleman is gone.
Oh,
So they need
that's
another
awesome.
Littleman. They need another Littleman to do the bouncing
Marking
all
a
over the
stunt.
place. That guy didn't even wrestle. I don't think in AEW.
He did, but
When?
not off.
Oh, maybe on Dark or something like that.
No. But he was in. I mean, I'm sure he did on Dark, but he was involved in like one or two. When I say he wrestled, I know I distinctively seen him at least one time. I'm not
In
saying he
like
wrestled.
tights in the ring.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah,
but
there
then
was
again,
a
it's not very
couple-
memorable.
Yeah, there was a couple when it was like the slog of no audiences that whole period. I think he was involved in some stuff. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that they had him in at least one match.
He
did
did
fun
because he was.
size. They kept
Yeah.
saying
Go ahead, Brandon.
fun.
Yeah, he was catching flack for being too small at the same time that Riho was. It was like very early on with the show. Everybody was too small for AEW.
Too small. They're either too small, they're not fit enough, or I don't know who this guy is. Because people that start in because you know who Madcap Moss is. He shows up and you're just like, I know everything about this man. I'm so excited. It's called building somebody up from the ground up, man. Come on.
Tony Nese.
Tony needs to know who he is.
Yeah, but I mean, like, does anybody really give a shit or know anything about that dude? Nobody
No.
fucking cares.
Fuego del Sol, though, great character to just be the shapeless, ageless man with a mask on that comes in and gets blasted for 2 minutes once a month or two.
Let's see. Wardlow in a 2-on-1 jobber match. Oh boy.
Pass.
We don't have to talk about it, but Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz versus 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. If you guys want to talk about it, we can. That fucking match sucked.
I mean,
C plus on Bleacher Report. Oh,
Yeah.
owned by TBS, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Did you see that they're owned by TBS?
Yeah.
Or TNT, Time Warner. Somebody owns
Yeah.
them.
Whoever owns TBS and TNT.
Yeah. I had
Someone
and
had pointed it out to me, and then I checked it out, and yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, I just want us to make sure I say that nobody pointed that out to me. I
Yeah,
came
yeah,
up
sure,
with that on
yeah.
my own.
Yeah.
very nice, very nice. I did want to. I mean, we don't have to deep dive here, but
We can.
they're just kind of making Santana and Ortiz look like fucking idiots. That their complaint is that they've hadn't had time to compete for these titles until now because they've been busy handling Jericho's business for him, even though Jericho hasn't had a story for like 4 months. So it just kind of looks like they're a little lazy. And then in the match,
Right.
they're mad at him, and they don't want him to participate. So he does what a good person would do, and he just, okay, I'll stand on the side then, and when I could contribute, I do. They win, and then they treat him like a dickhead. And it's like these guys, Santana and Ortiz, just look like pieces of shit now, even though they're trying to like make them look like the just characters.
I think they're trying to make Jericho a babyface at this point, right? Like a super babyface. How can you turn him heel? How could he be the bad guy in this situation? Like they
Yeah, man. I
sit-
guess until that night, I thought they were like trying to say that they're breaking up. This was like a wedged in way to break up the inner circle, but instead it's just coming off like Santana and Ortiz stink.
they're dicks.
Yeah.
Chris, you got any thoughts on this?
Well, it seems. I mean, all right, so first of all, Jericho. Because I just watched Rampage before we started recording, and Jericho is definitely leaning babyface more and more every week on Rampage.
How couldn't you? They sing his
Yeah.
fucking song.
Yeah,
with
you
Lucky
can't.
Down. Like
He
they've been doing
can't.
it
He
from
can't.
Jump Street.
But the other thing is that he it just seems strange to me, and you know, it's like AEW does this a lot, where they've taken 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, and they've put a lot of time into them. I mean, they've been on a lot, and
every week they're in some type of main segment with someone that's important.
Right. And they're just using them now like to facilitate the breakup of the inner circle, which is kind of odd that like you don't need to put that much time into this. You can do that over the course of a couple of weeks with a bunch of nobodies and just have every match go south and guys are infighting and then boom, it's already done. We already had that with what are these guys? The hand in the air guys? Dark
Sorter.
I almost said the
Dark
Souls.
Tower.
The Dark Tower. the Dark Reaver.
The Dark Tower is when they all pile up on top of each other on the toilet.
The Dark Throne.
Dark Throne. But it just seems odd. You're putting a lot of time in with these guys. You could have just had, I don't know. Not everybody has to be a massive cog in the machine, man. You need some guys that are just like dummies that come out and whatever.
The Dark Tower is the pile of shit that's laid when men are stacked on the Dark Throne and try pooping at once.
There we go.
Turns into the Dark Tower. It's all piled on one dick.
Fuck. Is it a dark? Do we have a Dark Order and a Dark Throne?
We do.
Fuck.
We had like 3 cages at one point.
Spooky.
Well, it's the
one night I was
black
like kind of drunk and I like could not get their names right. You guys are like, no, Brent. I was like Christian Cage. It's like, no, it's Christian Cage and Brian Cage and Adam
Cage, Christian Cage, Adam Page, Steel Cage, 12 gauge.
12 gauge Page. Van Zant. All right.
Yes. CM Punk and MJF. So promo. And then they beat the shit out of him. And we're not getting this match, right? In Chicago. It's not happening. There's no way. Well, we're not getting a decent outcome. We're getting some bullshit. Brandon, thoughts?
It would be cool if they did, and they actually pleasantly surprised us for once. So yeah, Sean Spears, one of the most geezer-style takedowns you'll ever see, Chris. I hope you noticed that when he sneaks in behind him and he's like bent over at a right angle going for the double leg. I thought it was a good heel. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thought it was a good heel behavior by MJF, sitting cross-legged on top of CM Punk, but besides that, just kind of more of the same here. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I was gonna say you shoot in like an escalator. You shoot in like an elevator, not like an escalator. Somebody teach these guys. I like this. I don't know. I think it's because we've kind of, in my head, we've already kind of decided that this is about the Wardlow babyface turn and not about CM Punk and MJF. So it's just a means to an end. Not contrary to what I was saying before. I think when you have a guy like CM Punk and you're going to use him to do that, you're paying him and he's a star. So it's good to use somebody like that to further another storyline because you're getting your investment back. But, yeah, I just think this is going to end up being a match where CM Punk gets beat up by everybody and Wardlow finally just says no more. Because he was almost doing it last week when they went, power bomb him. Power bomb. And the only thing that would make it better is MJF blew both of his quads out when he was walking down the rings. But,
I don't care at this point. CM Punk's
That's
still undefeated.
That's the thing, though. I don't know. It's a lot of parts of the show without trashing the whole thing. Like that should be a big deal that you're watching CM Punk. Like you should feel something when you're seeing CM Punk get brutalized in the center of the ring by these people. But because they go on for so long, you're just kind of like, another week.
We've been doing this for a while, and they're beating him up. I guess he needs some friends now, Punk.
I guess it'll be Wardlow, right? Maybe that's where we get out of this.
Maybe we get Wardlow as this heavy. I don't know. I'd be
up on purpose.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we actually get a match. I don't know if we're going to get a match though, but we'll find out next week. Next up, oh boy, actually wasn't that bad, but oh boy, when I saw this, Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch in a not great match, and a lot of it was in commercial. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah. Again, I watched this after the fact on the app, and they just omit giant chunks of these matches that they show during commercials. So I missed some of it, but both of them got all the effort in the world. I think they look better than they have in the past, actually.
They do. Yeah, you got to give them credit, my man.
So
I don't have to give them credit, but I will give them credit. They look way better than they did, I don't know, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. That's a good sign, I guess. Go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you jumped in. No hot take here. I'd love to make fun of it, say it was a complete mess, but it really wasn't. They're getting a little bit better, and I like Layla Hurst being a dirty little grouch, sneaking in some cheapies there at the end.
Yep. They hail her from Russia now.
Instead of Gibbstown?
Not Gibbstown, New Jersey anymore now. It's Russia. Chris, thoughts?
I like that they did this. I like that they threw it in the middle of the card. The match wasn't spectacular. It was a little clunky, but both of them are brand new. But yeah, I mean, and I don't mind that half of this match was in commercials. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, get them on TV in the middle of the day, like in the middle of the show. They're on TV. People get to see them. All right, we didn't see the whole match. Who cares? It wasn't that good anyway. You know what I mean? It was a little. I shouldn't say it wasn't good. I should say it was messy as fuck.
It was clunk. It was
clunk. But I mean, and when you have a roster of all these people, they should be doing this more.
Yeah, they should be
doing this more.
Even Britt Baker is only a couple of years in. Like a lot of these people are only a couple of years in. You got some people that are vets, but these new people need to be on TV, man. They work through it, man, because you're not going to do it you got to do it in front of an audience. How are you going to do it in practice? Not doing shit.
Yeah, you have to hear how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what Chris said. Maybe if it was the opposite, I would be complaining the other way. But the show has fallen into this rhythm where there's like the people that everybody knows are the top guys. Then there's this second tier of guys that they've deemed good enough to lose on TV, and you just see them every week again and again, and it makes the matches uninteresting. And the guys just aren't good enough where I care to see them every single week. So it does feel fresh to be like, oh. It's not Max Caster doing another 4-bar little diss again. It's fucking something different. It's Layla Hirsch. Layla.
Yes, Ann.
She's got such strong legs.
Her low sense of gravity.
That's our longest running bit.
I know. From the beginning. He did say it. Strong. He said something about leg strength.
Oh, God, I'm getting the pieces of the joke. It had something to do with Jim Ross. Jim Ross and Ric Flair. All right, it's all coming back.
All right, good. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Maybe we can
hopefully we'll get it on air. Britt Baker does a promo on Cleveland, football.
Who cares?
Pittsburgh. I'm committed to the gimmick. It was terrible. This was just a time eater. I don't get the point.
Yeah, I just found myself like my focus just drifting out of the screen. I'm staring at the Vizio logo at the bottom of my TV, and I'm like, oh, what? That was 4 minutes. I just missed something.
Oh, you got a Vizio too? So do I.
Yeah,
big spenders, Vizio. Brother. Big spenders. Chris,
barely got that thing through the door.
She's standing in front of a table. The setup that they have looks like some sort of promotional setup that you would see it like, guys trying to give you a cell phone 20 years ago at the quad at Temple University.
Singular.
Like, here, take this.
Cricket.
Here, take this.
Singular.
An easel. Well, no, back then wasn't even. I think it may have still been OmniPoint. The easel with the picture of somebody like, hey, you got coverage all over here, and you really fucking don't. And
you can chirp.
Yeah, it's just some real shitty presentation of like one of them they didn't even have one of them on a stand. I was like, she pointed to one of the awards and it was just sitting there like a plate.
Yeah,
it was poorly produced.
Terrible. Production tough job. Like those people that have to sell like stuff that you wouldn't buy on no notice, like a phone, or like you're gonna change your like power source of your home
to the worst one
or something. You're like, oh God,
those people, they got them out in the middle of winter, walking up to strangers in a big city, asking them if they want to switch their fucking electricity provider. Like how much they pay these poor people. Man.
I feel bad.
Right out
of
of scale, it's like
I feel
right
bad.
out of college with a sales degree. And that's the job you get right out of college. Good.
It's like I was running into Walmart to get batteries, and now I'm going to change who provides my internet all of a sudden in the middle of this Walmart. Like, I feel bad for some of those. Like, nobody's going to do this shit. The window people. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Not to get
well, we have
bath fitters.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new tub.
Good, Chris.
We my big one's the AT&T person at Target. You know, as you're walking through Target, and they go, "Oh yeah, talk about cell phone? No, thank you. Who's your carrier?" They'll ask you, "Oh, I have T-Mobile. Are you interested in AT&T?" I'm interested in getting to the milk and getting out of here. That's all I wanted to do today. I don't want to hear your spiel about this.
Oh my
and
god!
Then eventually,
I'm trying to cancel my AT&T back in the day. Oh my god, it took forever.
One time, I told the guy. Oh, I forget what I said. Man, my brain is shitski today. I'm sorry, guys. But he was trying to do it. No. And he was trying to get me. And I looked at him. I was like, no. Take the hint. Move on to somebody else. Like, I was like, leave me alone. He's following me through the store.
Let me power my phone off and go through a 90-page Verizon contract with you in this kiosk in Walmart.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I finally, one of the times I tried to switch over to get out of my AT&T contract, I went to a store and I was with my girlfriend at the time. Now, mind you, I was in this contract with my daughter's mother from years ago. And when I went in and I was with my current girlfriend at the time, I went into the store and I have to go through the whole spiel, and I'm trying to cancel the account. And then I gotta, I want to open another one with another company, but I gotta cancel this account. They're like, "Who's the account under?" And I give my daughter's mother's name, and they go, "What relation is this to you?" I was like, "Oh, it's my wife,
baby mama."
And my girlfriend at the time looked at me. That she was not my wife, but we just lied to get on the same fucking line. My girlfriend at the time looked like you saw the blood rush out of her face. She turned into a corpse. And I just did a hand motion underneath the table, and then we talked about it when we got outside. I was like, no, it was just a lie, just to get on the same fucking lines. They didn't buy it, by the way. We needed her to call. I was like, well, that's never happening.
So you stayed on AT&T for the next 20 years?
Stayed on AT&T for the next 10 years.
That's what you get for engaging with those people.
Yep, that's what you get for lying, I guess. All right, let's move on. Lights out match. The lights went out. The rules don't matter anymore. Orange Cassidy versus Adam Cole. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, this happened. It was lights out, more comedic than the typical lights out match. We get Danhausen busts in of new era Ring of Honor that nobody watched. Chris is just waving his arms, going who the fuck cares in the back? He was under the ring, hanging on to a chair. So I guess that's the type of shit that some of these AEW people get a pop for.
Apparently, it's a big deal. I watched a couple AEW or a couple Ring of Honor just because it was on. Put it on. I think he's supposed to be an evil. What is he? What's his deal?
He's a sorcerer.
Is he a sorcerer?
I wish he was. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think he's just I don't know. I don't know what his gimmick is.
How much of that? Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to pass judgment because I'm ignorant on him. Maybe he is very popular, but who's watching Ring of Honor? Really?
Right. That doesn't it give you that? I think that's what it is. I get this little spiteful feeling where it's he gets this applause through the crowd, and I'm like, how much of this applause is people just acting like they should know who this is, so they're going to cheer with everyone else?
Right.
Because there's no fucking way all these people are stoked on Danhausen.
Yeah, what?
We watched way too much of this shit, and we're like, huh?
I was just okay. And they're and I had the Steve. I know who he is, but I almost had the Jim Ross reaction where it's where is this? What are you talking about?
Who booked this guy? Yeah.
Who this dude? Who booked him? I don't know. Chris, thoughts on Danhausen?
It had nothing to do with the match. He just kind of pointed it at him, put a curse on Adam Cole, and cursed him thinner.
Waving.
And that was it. It was very strange. Well, it wasn't.
He signed AEW. He is all elite.
He is all elite. I would like. I'm not saying whether I like him or I don't. I have know nothing about him.
I don't know shit about it.
When I watch AEW this week, I hope he's on so I get to see what the deal is. Okay, cool. Somebody new that apparently people like. I'm good with that. But then I like this match. I thought that the interference and stuff was properly timed, and it made sense, and it furthered other shit going on with other people, and I enjoyed this. I had no problem with this.
Yeah. Also, you get Adam Cole takes the loss,
Takes the first L,
but it's lights out, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't matter, right? Exactly.
Right. So everybody looks fine coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what? I think it's a thing where it's the people that are, because these shows aren't selling out right now, whether that's COVID or whatever. You're getting, I don't know, 3,000 stadium. You're getting like 1,000 people in there, maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000. Imagine the people that are braving Omicron and ice storms are the diehards, and they know who the fuck Danhausen is. They watch all this dork shit. Okay, Chris.
Are you saying that it was cold and icy at Beach Blast in Cleveland, Ohio, in fucking the last week of January?
Impossible.
I think what would be great is if they did Beach Blast wherever they used to do the WCW one, where they had the pool around the ring. Yeah. That would be fucking great. Yeah. They need to bring that back.
Do we get any Andrade stuff this week?
Yes.
Did we get any announcements? We did, because I missed it. Go ahead.
I don't know if it was on.
Brandon, do you remember?
I don't remember.
No, I remember it. What I'm saying is I don't know if it was on Friday or Rampage. Might have been Rampage, but I'm not sure. He confronted Andrade confronted Darby Allin in the locker room.
I don't rember this.
Yes.
How did I miss this?
Yeah.
Was it right after the Brock Anderson match that I didn't give a fuck about?
No. I don't know when it was.
Like, I don't work for Sting.
Yeah, and he's talking to him, and
how did I miss it?
Wait. He's talking. Darby Allin's sitting there, and he's talking to him, and he says, I slept on park benches and under bridges and in cars. I really don't care about money. And he says,
oh, I do remember this now.
He says, "Should tell your boss. The name is Price."
He says, so tell your boss the name is Price?
Name is Price, yeah. And I think at one point he goes, yeah, Sting is not my boss. You tell your boss. I like how he does like the hands. He's got the hands on his collar. You tell your boss the name. He's Price.
Mr. Sting.
Nobody talks like this.
He does.
But it's
Andrade does. I love it. I love it.
Stupid. So anyway, he went to get up. Darby Allin went to get up, and Bill Alfonso. What's his assistant's name? It's escaping me. Antonio.
Assistant. I don't remember.
Anyway, he went to get up, and he blocked him with the iPad. Darby Allin pulled out a bat, and they were like, he was like, no, you need to calm down. Calm down. No, you tell your boss the name is Price. It was fucking great.
Andrade just
get it.
Andrade doesn't think friendships exist. Only people are only together for money. I love it. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I barely remember watching that, but that's hilarious. Please keep this going. That Andrade is like this, thinks everyone's a mercenary for whoever that they hang out with in real life. Or not real life on the show.
I'm wondering
this kid.
I'm wondering who works for Sting.
Works for Sting.
I'm wondering now, does Andrade think it goes the opposite way with his girlfriend? Because he's actually probably giving money to his girlfriend's father. Like for his fucking divorce.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh man. I think, going back to that, how I can almost guarantee you that Ric Flair they probably had something planned for him and Andrade in AEW. And he was so counting on that paycheck. And then the dick touching story came the fuck out. And they were like, you need to bet. That's like And let's be honest, in this day and age, and like as of right now, 6 months ago, that was death sentence. Now that's kind of disappear for a year and then come back. But still, he was like, he's probably like, God damn it, I need that.
That's probably why his wife left him. He's home all the time now.
Yeah, he was probably like, I see him like
crying and stuff because he's a crier.
Henry Hill when he gets bailed out of jail in Goodfellas and he's looking for the coke.
Yeah.
I need that money. Karen, I need that money.
We're dead, Karen. She flushed it down the toilet. Just like all Ric Flair's hopes and dreams.
Yep.
I'm thinking of that. Remember that video of Andrade like suplexing Flair in the pool?
Yeah.
They were all like in at some resort together. You know Flair is that old. I'm just imagining, Flair is
Hito Rick.
Old, yeah, Hito Ric Flair.
Twice in 2 days. I love it.
Hito Ric Flair, the ripping and the tearing, the ripping and the tearing.
The ripping and the tearing. The wild women. And defend the honor of his wild women.
Brandon, continue. I'm sorry.
I'm just imagining, Flair is that old guy that's like super charming in front of the family, and then he corners Andrade in the pool with like a Mai Tai, and he's like, starts saying, he's like, you got to get me on AEW, man. He's like, give me $20,000 or something.
I'm gonna need some money. Give me some money.
Or he like,
or I'm gonna tell my daughter what a piece of shit you are.
Or he shows up with like a business proposal.
Yeah, something like
that. I'm gonna invest in this hotel. It's a hotel. In where's he from? North Carolina. His hotel's got bowling alley.
Good Terry.
Oh God.
Terry's opened up on a place called Hogan's Hoagies. It's gonna be a chain in the Tampa area. We just need a seed round.
He was trying to get a quarters.
Have you been on the internet? There's this new thing called NFTs. We can get in on that.
You know anything about blockchain, buddy?
He's covered in blood with the blood flare eyes, and he's like, you're taking my daughter, and you should reconsider who your energy supplier is.
Instead of blood, it's margaritas or something pouring down his face.
Would you like to sign up for Singular Mobile? The guy,
he's got grenadine running from his cheek, from the sides of his mouth,
and slapping the scar and bleeding.
Woo! Oh man, I can't wait to see him outside like Suburban Station going, woo! Sign up for T-Mobile immediately.
Yo, he's on the Iron
Car Shield. You need Car Shield.
He's on the Iron Sheik Road where he goes into the Denny's with the belt over his shoulder and tells them, hey, you want an autograph? And when they get it, he charges them $20 after.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one. Pay me now. It's like, okay. It's like the guy, it's the bartender giving me, hey, you want a shot? And then I got to pay for it. Not really, but if you're giving me one, it's $18. All right, let's move on.
He's getting 100 off.
You never
answer every time he goes to the bar, even though it's all inclusive. He's just started piling up. He's gonna leave the weekend with $1,400.
You never. I was when you were telling your story, since you just brought it up. How was the Rock's tequila?
It was fine.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
It was fine. Wasn't great.
You didn't even get any guac on the Rock.
They did not get guac on the Rock. Let's move on. AEW Rampage Breach Break Baja Blast. John Moxley versus Max Caster? No, Anthony Bowens. That's the only one that wrestles, right? Max Caster is a listen guy.
Mm-hmm.
Max Caster says stuff about his wife and does his usual shtick, and then we get a good Moxley match where he beats the shit out of him. Pretty good. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, the match was pretty good. You could tell Bowens got up for it. He's a good wrestler. I think he would be more interesting on his own, honestly. So I was talking about these group of wrestlers that are just... So I don't even want to say I don't like them. I just don't want to see them every week because I don't care. Max Caster's fallen into that group, like making fun of Moxley's wife and shit, where even when it's good, I just don't care anymore. So that's never a good sign. I wish someone would just make fun of him back for getting suspended and trying to sell his pants on eBay for $500 and then deleting the listing when he got 0 bids.
It's right there. The joke's right there, man. Buy my underwear, my fighting underwear. Chris, thoughts?
It's funny you said that because remember when that happened, when he got suspended, and there was like, this was the guy that the AEW fan base was going to get behind and push back into his position. Like, bring him back. We want him back. Bring him back, bitching and moaning that this, like, fucking Max Caster is the guy that you're gonna rest all your hopes and dreams on and put your effort into getting back onto the card after you got in trouble. I mean, I said it before about these guys. I say it all the time, though. It's like, yeah, Max Caster's fucking hateable. Then he comes out and shows his ass and gets shit kicked out of him and the story.
Yeah.
And it's, it's very
Max
formulaic.
Caster's the future
and
of
it works.
AEW. He's 32 years old. How about Brock
What the hell
Anderson?
was he doing from 20 to 30?
Listen, he'll tell you.
Writing rhymes.
Yeah, right runs. Brock
His rhyme book.
Anderson and Lee Johnson versus FTR. Ran it nuts. B+ on Bleacher Report.
B plus.
I don't
it's
mind
like-
Lee Johnson. He's fine.
No, I mean, I don't know. FTR is good enough to make Brock Anderson not look as bad as he probably is. So I didn't think the match was like terrible, but just I don't know. I didn't move the needle for me. I do think maybe in like a year or two, if they hide them for a little while, Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson could be an interesting tag team, just simply off of the fact that they would be the only tag team that doesn't look like two of the same person with like one character trait altered, like every other tag team that they have.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. A lot of their tag teams are designed tag teams, and they all look exactly the same. Young Bucks, it's like the same fucking dude. One's just more athletic.
I still can't tell you which one's which. I'm dead serious.
There's like one with better hair. There's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, which one guy is just a little bit bigger than the other one. There's FTR is just like one of them gets
the same
hair
dude.
14
One's
versus
bald.
hair 1. Yeah,
Yeah, like
create a
exactly.
character. There's just like a lot of just like two of the same person.
It's funny you should say this
Hair
because
one is the bald one.
yeah, hair one.
Standard hair. Good.
It's funny you say that though, because I was watching that match and I was thinking to myself, there were 6 people involved in the match, including the managers.
Yeah.
And 4 out of the 6 people involved in that match, I have a hard time looking at.
Right.
The other 2 are Tully Blanchard and Mullet Guy and FTR. Everybody else involved in that match is just strange looking, and I just can't handle it.
Structure,
Brock,
muscular, structure, standard. That's the difference
Yeah,
between the
it's
two
right.
guys in varsity
It's like-
bonds.
Yeah, Brock Anderson comes into the ring, and he's the hot tag that blew my mind. And he's like fumbling and bumbling through everything. I was like, why wouldn't you have him sell for most of the match? Bring Lee Johnson as the hot tag. Whatever. Move on. Jade Cargill versus Julia Hart in a glorified squash. Although Julia Hart got some action in. This was fine. Whatever. It wasn't good. Brandon's thoughts.
Yeah, and insane to fight with an eye patch. This girl's 26-0, and you're gonna send some woman in there with an eye patch on to try to beat her. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, she signed the contract on Dynamite while Leif Erikson was saying, no, don't do it. You would have bet your eye. And she's like, I'll do what I want, bitch, or whatever she said.
No, let's go with that.
Yeah. And then she came into the ring and got kicked in the face. I did like the Excalibur was like, oh, she got kicked in the spot where her eye patch was, so she didn't even see it coming.
You notice that right foot went right into that left eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Chris Love.
Yeah. They do the same thing every match. I think you pretty much scout that out. That's one thing that they do in Japan all the time that I fucking love, is that after just 2 guys wrestle each other 100 times, they start blocking their shit.
Yep.
You know?
Or they keep using the same finisher and then it stops working.
Right.
So they have to add something new to it.
And they make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, look at
the money clip.
Yeah, the money
Oh.
clip. They had to bring the money clip in.
Had to bring the money clip in.
Yeah, got to weaken that neck to take the short arm clothesline. Makes it more effective. Go ahead, Chris.
I'll tell you this: if you're, was there any doubt in your mind that Jade Cargill was going to win? No,
of course not. Yeah.
So just fucking squash her, and I mean annihilate her.
She did a pretty good job of it. I did like that Julia Hart was able to get a little bit of offense in, but
and then when you have
I think this match is 8 minutes, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jared goes in there. God. Well, she was a cheerleader. She's using those cheerleader skills.
Whatever that
being
means.
Serious.
Well, because she does the cartwheel. She does the elbow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does the springboard clothesline or whatever.
Clothesline, yeah.
Yeah.
Her cheerleader skills.
Yeah, she's using her cheerleader skills. Cheerleading.
It's probably
not a
It is
sport.
probably tough when there's just complete nonsense going on. You have to fill 8 minutes of dead air. You're just like, ugh.
But he's also screaming at the top of his lungs the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I know. It's not like they could have had 2 4-minute squash matches and get some fucking dude that's on Dark or some woman that's on Dark on a regular basis on the TV show.
Yeah. Jurassic Park versus Private Party. Jurassic Park are the champs. They win. There you go. Brandon, thoughts?
I'll pass on this one. I don't even remember that it happened. I stared at the screen and zoned out.
Yeah, same here. And then the Gun Club comes in at the end and attacks the champs. Chris, thoughts?
I think I was doing stuff while this was on, so I think I'm gonna call it. See how this is a Jurassic Park, the ride.
The experience.
The
Jurassic experience.
Jurassic experience. Luchasaurus got beat up.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus came in as the hot tag. You thought he was going to beat some guys up. Lasted about 2 seconds, and then the little guy came in and he won the match. And the Private Party did a bunch of flips.
Pretty close.
And Matt Hardy stood outside the ring. Was probably the only entertaining thing in the entire match.
There was a good spot
making an ass out of himself. Like,
where Luchasaurus was going for. It was ridiculous in a professional wrestling way where it just made no sense. But Luchasaurus was trying to walk to the other side of the ring for the hot tag. Mm-hmm. So one of Private Party grabbed one leg. He started dragging him. So the other member of Private Party grabbed the other leg. He dragged them both over. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good little spot.
And this is preposterous professional wrestling. I was kind of like, pretty cute.
Anything can happen when you're wrestling a half man, half dinosaur.
That's true. Any thoughts? Anything I forget?
Well, at one point, Chris Jericho called him a gigantic Godzilla. That's opposed to a very small Godzilla.
A tiny little Godzilla. Did I miss anything, Brandon? Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. Lights out. I think we touched on whatever the fuck happened.
Chris, did you think of that Ric Flair joke?
I didn't. It's gone to the ether. It's flaming globes of Sigmund.
Here we go. The full AEW Dynamite card, according to Last Word on Sports, my favorite website to use when I'm doing this, because they misspell everything. So here's your full Dynamite card, according to them. Malachi Black and Brody King versus Pac and Penta El Cielo Miedo. So we're getting the Black Kings of the Black Throne, the Kings of the Toilet.
2 kings
versus
1 toilet.
Death Triangle. Brandon, thoughts?
2 kings, one cup. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Oh, fuck. They're like 2 of the only ones I like, and I can't stop making fun of them.
Who eats the pin in this match? That's a tough one. Nobody. DQ. Somebody gets shit spit in their face.
This isn't going to end.
No. Pac's going to kick him in the dick. Chris. Sounds good. Thoughts?
This is a good one. I like this. I love this.
A lot of bad tattoos in that ring, boy.
3 of the 4 dude. A lot of bad tattoos on this guy you're talking to right now. So I know what that's all.
He's got WCW on the front, WCW on the back.
I do. I got double WCW. Double WCW.
Are they on opposite sides?
They are on opposite sides.
So it's like a mirror.
It is.
You got to do a Luchador Calvin peeing on your coat.
Yep.
And we'll be good.
Little demon, Calvin. Ruby Soho is facing Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose came out, and we got classic. Can we call it classic? The widow of Guerrero saying "excuse me." Is that a classic? Because I don't think anybody ever liked it. She came to AEW. She was going to reinvent herself. She's still screaming "excuse me." She came out, and Nyla Rose said, "I want Ruby Soho." Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, that is one of those things where the first time I saw it, I was like, this has got to stop immediately. Fast forward 15 years and it's still going on of all the bad wrestling gimmicks. But match could be fun.
Yeah.
These two did they face off in that tournament? Were they on the same side of that thing? I think so.
Yeah, they Soho beat Nyla Rose.
That's why they're doing this.
Jade Cargill. Yeah. Chris, thoughts?
Nyla Rose is going to do that King Kong knee drop off the top rope, and I'm going to shit my pants because every time she does it, I think she's going to kill whoever she lands on.
She does. Not Ruby Soho. Kill someone. Who do you want to die on the AEW roster?
Who do I want to die? You know,
Ric Flair? Who's on the roster, right? He's getting paid.
I don't know. He's like, hey, Tony, I got this new idea for yeah. Woo, energy. Woo, your electric bills. Slapping, making himself bleed by slapping in his head. I'm fired. I'm already fired. Can't fire me. I'm fired.
Brandon, thoughts? Oh, we already went to you.
I don't know. You know what?
here's
Tony Khan. Tony
Hold
Khan
on.
would probably be the funniest.
No, I got one. Billy Gunn's kid.
He has a speed heart attack. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Billy Gunn kid, but the one that looks like the football coach, the one that used to go. Oh God, you guys aren't gonna get this. Brandon will get this. The guy who coaches in Carolina, he used to coach for Temple, Matt Rule.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I gotta look it up. I have
you
no
gotta look
idea
it
what
up.
this
He
is.
looks like Billy Gunn's one kid.
How's it spelled?
RHULE.
Oh, RHULE. It came up. RHU. Really? Okay.
Dude, I was watching today. I was like, oh God, he looks like Matt. That kid's hideous. He looks like Matt Rule.
On that AEW Botches Twitter account, there's a really funny Billy Gunn video yesterday of somebody suicide diving, like full speed into Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn misses him, slams his head into like that steel railing, and Billy Gunn just kind of like turns his head the other way, like, fuck that guy.
I ain't fucking catching that shit.
Yeah. It's like,
Don't you think you would know better to do that to an old man?
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean, really, suicide dive is like, yeah, I'm gonna go suicide dive. The guy that's almost 60.
Yeah.
Use your fucking head. I would have done that. And I'm sure that guy was probably coming at him, and he was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
You're eating this.
Yeah.
Kip Sop.
Who's Kip Sop? Is that the guy that did it?
That's Billy Gunn's Twitter name, I guess. Is that his real name? Kip Sop?
I don't know.
That's a weird name.
He's a weird dude. Likes steroids. Gets caught. Gets fired.
He was the strength coach for something. And he got
NXT.
fired.
For Temple is the kid.
He was the NXT. he was the NXT strength and conditioning coach, I think. And he got caught doing steroids because he was doing powerlifting competitions.
That's right. That's what he was doing.
Tested him for steroids because he probably thought, "Fuck it, I'm a coach. You're not going to test me."
Right.
And he got caught. Got fired.
CM Punk versus MJF in Chicago. This is the last match on their full AEW Dynamite match card as of. See when this posted. Oh, this posted today. So this is all we got so far. It's airing tomorrow. We talked about this already. What are we hoping comes out of this, Brandon?
What match was it?
CM Punk and MJF.
Oh, I mean, hopefully we get somewhere with the Wardlow turn, right? And let's even these teams out a little bit.
Yep.
What I actually hope happens is when one way, shape, or form, Tenman gets embarrassed.
That could be a cop out of this. He just starts beating up Tenman. Tenman interferes. Wardlow won't interfere. Tenman does. I was like, Wardlow, what the fuck's wrong with you? And Tenman's like, I'm Tenman. Everybody says I'm great.
As many times as they go back, which I feel like they're in Chicago every 8 weeks, but I don't think whatever they do, they're embarrassing CM Punk there. So,
oh, speaking of Chicago, New Japan announced that they're going to have a show in Chicago. They announced the talent. They're like, coming live to Chicago for the first time ever, starring New Japan stars.
Filthy Tom Lawler.
Yuji Nagata. Tomohiro Ishii. Tom Lawler. Juice Robinson. It's like,
Ugh.
I ain't going to this shit.
I'll tell
He
you,
was craving a deep dish. He's like, I'll go over there.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
can I? I'll tell you a Tom Lawler story, something loosely related to Tom Lawler. Would you like to hear this?
Yeah, please.
Oh, did he? Wait,
Well,
did he dress
no.
like the fucking Shockmaster and fall in the front door during the UFC thing? Go ahead, Chris. Or whatever it was.
So Brandon was there. We went to go see Bloodsport and in the Mardi Gras room of the Showboat Casino.
Mardi Gras.
And well, I'm assuming that's what it's called.
We survived
And
the blood sport. There was a
we
couple
survived the
potential
blood
shooters
sport.
in the crowd.
Yeah, quite a few. There was assless shirt man, shirtless assless. He was walking around.
Wait,
Bandana.
what?
Shirtless assless man was walking around down. This was
he
so
a-
long, guys. He had no
was he a-
shirt on. He looked like a fucking fat potato, and he had no
Was he
ass.
a wrestler? Or was he just
No,
like
he was just some dude.
What?
Yeah.
What time of
Shirtless
year
assless
was
man.
this?
This was I don't remember. It was pre-summer, I believe.
This was like
Pre-summer. So
September
spring?
20
Pre-summer?
It was
September
2019.
2019.
Yeah, but it wasn't I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
I was
But
curious why someone would be shirtless.
because dude, you didn't see this crowd. So I have the feeling that
Okay, brother.
by the end of the show, people were just walking in. Because if I'm not mistaken, Brandon, they didn't even check our tickets, did they?
June 2019. I forget. I
think they
don't think
did.
so.
Anyway,
Somebody
we walked
snuck
right
in there and got too hot, took their top off.
Yeah,
Like,
so we
fuck
went
that
in.
shit,
So we
man.
go in there, and we're watching. And now Tom Lawler is wrestling Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Hmm.
Tom Lawler's wears like fight shorts, the tight ones, the old school ones, and on the dick is a Trojan ad, and on the ass is a Pampers ad.
Nice.
That's his joke.
Well done.
Some dude is standing right next to me screaming. Kind of seemed like he didn't go there. That's not why he was there. Him and his buddy. And he looks at you and goes, who you want to win this match? This guy or the guy with the Pampers on his pants?
He says it to you.
Yeah. And
Chris,
I don't
why do
even look-
weirdos approach you all the time? You're not very approachable.
I don't know. I've been asking myself that forever. I'm
Everybody's looking
anti.
for
There was
trouble.
like-
I don't get it.
All right, I'm a He-Man. I'm a He-Man fan, and there's He-Man, right?
Mhm.
And well, I'm thinking of the little mini figures I have. So there's He-Man,
Yeah.
and then there's Anti-He-Man,
Yeah.
and he's the most evil man in the universe. He's all black with red hair, red eyes, and everything's red.
There's a
I am
anti-He-Man?
anti-He-Man. I am anti-He-Man. He asked me this question, and without even looking at him, I said, I'm just trying to enjoy myself, bud. And he's like, what? Now I can't even understand what the fuck he's saying to me. And I look at Brandon, I was like, there's seats open on the other side. Let's go sit over there. So I didn't even look at him. We walked around the other side and sat down. That's my Tom Lawler story.
Nice. Well
That's
done.
a classic Chris response there. That no words he said were impolite, but everything about it is like, shut the fuck up and get away.
Yeah,
from
everything. I didn't say, it was, yeah, it's all in tone.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to enjoy
Right?
myself.
I'm just trying to enjoy myself here. In other words, you're ruining it. I'm
You're
trying
ruining
to
it for
enjoy myself,
everyone.
and you're making it so I'm not.
Well done.
I'm the dude that always gets approached by the freakazoid.
Yes, you do.
Get
It's
it,
fascinating.
Dude. I don't get it.
They don't talk to me at all.
I look like a fucking troll.
I don't get it.
There was like that was a type of show where there's a dude trying to sell old DVDs of wrestling pay-per-views from yesteryear, like 5 feet away from the ring.
Was it Feinstein
No,
out there hustling?
no, but they had T-shirts for GCW and for Bloodsport, and they were like $45,
Jesus.
and they were like Gildan
Oh, maybe-
times 5. They were like wetsuits.
Oh, maybe Feinstein and Lauderdale don't get along. They probably chase the same children. for sex.
Probably.
What is this? Some DVD guy you guys know?
Feinstein, yeah, we used to do backyard wrestling with him, but he ended up getting caught in some kind of
Oh god,
sex sting. Yeah,
that's a tough look trying to sell DVDs.
he's still out there, man.
DVDs in
He was at that
2020.
fucking the show with the Great Muta was at 2300 Arena.
Yeah, that they're always
Yes,
there.
he
too.
was.
He was there.
That's-
I was real polite to him. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, look who's here! I brought Muta over." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And Then Muda wanted like fucking $50 to get your pictures. Fucking carny. He wanted $50 to shake his hand and get a picture. Get the hell out of it. You couldn't even stand up at
Get
that
the
point.
hell out of here.
I'm looking for Annie He-Man for you. I can't find him.
Yeah, it's all good. Anything else you want to talk about? I'm trying to think of anything I forgot. I don't think there's anything.
No.
Yeah. All right. So we got nothing next week. Well, we'll have the Stardom show. We can talk about that. I'll have vetted it. There was an invasion angle. I'll
Oh yeah,
you
life
guys
goes on.
give you all the background on that. All right, let's get out of here. You ready?
Yes.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us this week. Join us here every week at Wrestling is Hard. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Subscribe and follow. Subscribe on YouTube. We are Wrestling is Hard Productions. Tell your friends. And for Brandon and Chris, Jim, and we will be back here next week.
And Chris just remembered the joke.